how do you decide what doesn't make it? Because I'm sure you want to put everything in.
Well, I don't want to put everything in it because I know some of it won't work. These are different mediums, and there's a certain spirit to the game, and there's certain major events that we're like, okay, those have to remain the same. What the story's about has to remain the same. The soul of it has to remain the same. But how we get there, sometimes it's identical, sometimes it's very, very different. When you play the game, you get the whole story. You decide the pacing of it as you're playing it, and you can finish the whole thing in a weekend if you'd want. The show is different. It's an hour, roughly hour-long episodes, come out week to week, and this season doesn't encompass that entire story. Because of just that major shift already, there's certain contextual things that we had to pull up because we didn't want people to wait sometimes years for another season. Knock on wood if we get to do another season. And then it would get spoiled for them online because they would be so curious. So we're like, you know what, we'd rather have that be our decision of how that information gets revealed. So that's an example of why a certain change would be required.
That makes sense. And I guess between either season, but was there ever anything that you didn't think would be able to have been put on TV that they actually pulled off successfully?
I mean, there's some action sequences in this season that are just mind-boggling, and there's so much VFX that you will not even know is VFX. There's some of it that will be like, okay, there's no way they could have actually filmed that. That would have been too dangerous to put people in that situation. But otherwise, there's I would bet most of the VFX goes over people's heads, and they just think it's all practical because so much of it is practical, and then it's augmented with VFX. There's some stuff that we couldn't get into the game in Last of Us Part 2 that Craig and I talked very early on that made it into this season. So it's almost like stuff from the cutting room floor now got to it's like a director's cut is like this season of that story.
I love to hear that.